10, some are online. I just want to give you a quick orientation of the course. So first, the key to this course and follow along is just go by going along with the weekly modules. So in week 1, we have more quizzes than are typical. Okay. So we use a lot of calculus in this class, so there's going to be a calculus review that is due on May 14th. There's going to be a syllabus quiz in this first week on May 13th. And so 2 quizzes in your first week. Okay, or excuse me, 3. There's also an RStudio. And this RStudio is relatively straightforward. You just install RStudio. Here's a video on installing RStudio, and let's actually preview this quiz. Once you have RStudio and R installed, you can go ahead and answer these questions. Before I preview this quiz, I have my own video here as well, going over some similar things. Here's where you can download R and RStudio. Having R is sufficient. Okay. Here's some files that you can use as well. This is worth 60 points, so each week your details for your quizzes are listed here. It corresponds to the homework portion of your grade. It's worth 60 points. There's no time limit. You have multiple attempts, in fact 2, and it keeps the average score. Okay, so let's preview this. Once you have RStudio installed, all I want you to do for this quiz is to highlight this code, put it into R, and run it. Okay. Here's question 2. It asks you to run this code, and it just asks you for the output. I want you to match the output with one of the answers here. Same with this one. Question 3, run this, match it to the output. Most of these questions are the same. This one will install a package, and it asks you what you see when you run this head command. Okay, so very similar questions. Okay, and that's your RStudio quiz, which we will use from time to time in this course. Okay. Here is your calculus review quiz. You can see, these details are worth 100 points. You get 2 attempts, keeps the average score. Okay. Here's the preview of it. And so this is just one question at a time. It asks you to find the sum of the series. This happens to be a geometric series, but you need to be careful when you apply the formula and select the closest answer that applies. Okay. Question 5, here's another series that asks you about convergence or divergence. Okay. So different questions, different answers. I do want to warn you, most of these questions are single answer. Just select the best answer. Other questions, from time to time, there will be a question that asks you to select all that apply. Okay, so just be careful with the wording. Let's go back to the home page. So here's your first week's assignments listed in week 1. In week 2, things kind of get to normal. There's one quiz. It's on chapter 1, counting and probability. There's some video lecture that you can watch, and here's some optional homework problems. I can preview this quiz. It asks you to count the number of different choices you have in this scenario. It asks you how many different ways this outcome can occur. Okay, so counting methods. Okay, all these different questions, select the best answer that you see. Okay, and that is your quiz for this week. And for week 2, it will be on chapter 1. Okay. Now, I want to go over your exams. So in week 4, you have your first exam. This material in chapter 3 is included, the discrete geometric binomial, and the material that corresponds to this homework is on this exam. This exam is generally the easiest of the exams, and so because we weren't able to have a break for this week because of time constraints, I chose the exam 1 to be the exam in which there's both a homework and an exam. But in later weeks, here's exam 2, there is no homework. You get to study and review the whole week, and exams 2 and 3 are like this. And but the material does get harder, but you don't have homework and a review and an exam due in the same week like there is in week 4. Just we need one extra week, but we have too much material. So exam 1 has a homework, a review, and an exam. Exams 2 and 3, just the exam and the review. Okay. Okay. This exam is through KaiTester. This review is through KaiTester so that you're dealing with the same system. It gets you acquainted to it. This homework is through Canvas. Okay. So here's exam 1. If I click on it, it gives you all the details. You can take it for a date range. You need to use Proctorial. I'm very cruel. You get to use your textbook, but it is a time test. Okay. Here are the instructions that you'll see on your test, just FYI. Okay. Okay. So let's go back. That's that exam. Here's this exam. Each week, week 5, just complete your homework, the corresponding sections, and the quiz. That's basically the outline of the course. Let's go over your syllabus real quick. Okay. Okay, so I have an office hour. If you want to meet me in my office hour, you need to make an appointment. Just click here. Here's the slots, for example, in this week. If you want to go to the next week, hey, here's your slots. You can make an appointment. Just click on one and click save. Okay. Okay. I anticipate most communication will come in the form of an email. So just a few things about email. I generally check my email every day, but sometimes my day gets busy or I have to do something with family, so I might not be able to check it that same day, but generally I will. So expect a response to take about 48 hours, okay? Or 1 to 2 days. Okay. On the weekend, Monday through Friday, I will check my emails, try and check it every day. As I said, there could be an instance in which I'm busy one day. On the weekends, I may or may not check it. I could be doing things with family or friends, so you can send it to me, but don't expect me to look at it or read it until the following work day. Okay. Okay. Now, when you send me an email, I hope that you can include these items in it. Take a picture or the text of the question you're having trouble solving so that I can better help assist you, what you tried as a solution, the class name, and somewhere I'd like to have your name. Okay, so this just helps me assist you, and I can write back and give you a solution much quicker than without this information. Okay, the course generally covers this, and it corresponds to this material. Okay, we'll just cover a teeny bit of chapter 10 in this course because you'll probably see it once you graduate. You'll use a regression model, and you'll definitely see things like confidence intervals, hypothesis testing, so chapter 7 and 8. So kind of the most important is at the end, I would say. Okay. You need to have Math 1220 and a good internet connection for this course. Here's how I grade you. Homework is worth 2 exams. It's 30%. Exam 1 is 15. Each exam is 15%. Your final exam is 25. Here are the dates for which you can take your exam. Excuse me. You need to use Proctorial through KaiTester in these dates, and your final exam is just 2 days because the final exam week is pretty short, okay, in the summer semester. one very important thing is there's going to be a review for each exam, but not for the final. Okay. Your percentage corresponds to a grade, and that's given here. Okay. I expect you all to be professionals. If you need some help, Brian Plitcher is someone that you can contact within the College of Science who specializes in learning strategies. Okay. If you need equipment, here's a link. Check things out. If you need more information about proctorial and testing, here is the Weber State Testing Center information. And finally, because of COVID and how things may develop, I intend to contact you with Canvas, and I might need to add some additional items to the syllabus as the university updates its policies. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Math 3410. Once again, this home page, each module is your guide. Just try and complete each week's, and I look forward to having you and hearing from you. Okay. Thank you very much, and welcome to Math 3410.